He's the architect of the most smoked up brand in Canada, yet he stands as a pillar of sobriety and mental clarity. A Montreal native who redefined the Toronto landscape. He has transitioned from artist to executive to undisputed voice of the city. He's the man who built bridges where others see walls. We have here Ricky Friday Dred.
Thank you. Yo, so talk to me, man. I'm honored to be here, man. I know this is a little bit different because I'm in my own studio, but I'm just really honored to get this conversation going on, man.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I usually have my own setup going, and I'm usually behind the camera asking you questions, but I'll get used to this. It's okay.
We love hip hop studios today, man.
And thank you for having me here. I appreciate that.
Thank you, brother.
Nice. So my first question for you is, all right, Ricky, you've been sober since 2010, yet you built the most smoked up brand in the country. How do you maintain the mental clarity as a leader when you're constantly surrounded by the very environment you had to escape?
Well, the one thing when I first went away, because that's what really turned my mind around as far as like getting sober, right? Is I went to jail for about a year and change. And during the first month, I realized this is not good. Like alcohol put me in this situation. But when I first came home, because alcohol, like the will to drink had already left my body. When I went to bars or like when I snuck to go to bars, because I was actually like still hosting places and stuff like that, unbeknownst to my parole officer, right? I didn't have the will. I would see people drinking. I'd see people getting drunk. To be honest, sometimes when people would get too like sloshed, I'd get annoyed and stuff like that. And I started thinking to myself, was that me? You know what I mean? Like those times where I used to be in the bar and I thought I was the life of the party. Like, was I acting like an idiot all those whole times? So like, I never really got the will. Not to say that like there hasn't been times where I've gone through some really hard times and then I'm like, you know what? I could just say fuck it and just start drinking all over again. But I realized a long time ago, also through help from the 12-step program, like, you know, different AA meetings that I used to go to, if I take one drink, it's going to start the whole cycle all over again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I believe that as well.
And to answer, because you also mentioned the Most Smoked Out podcast, even when I was heavily sedated through drinking and stuff like that, I never looked at weed as something as like a substance where I always split things into chemicals and non-chemicals. So I looked at it as a natural substance. It's more of how you're able to handle weed. For me personally, you know what I'm saying? So when I first came home and I started, you know, when I was able to smoke again, one of the things I started thinking to myself, is it going to give me the urge to want to drink alcohol? That did cross my mind. And when I had my first spliff and I was, you know, started to get high again or whatever, like I never thought about drinking and smoking at the same time. So that's just me though. That doesn't work for everybody. Somebody might start smoking weed while they're trying to deal with sobriety from alcohol and say, you know what? It'd be good to have some Hennessy with this blunt right now. So I can't advise that for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I have a friend that he drinks a lot. I mean, heavily. I mean, back in the days, 40 OEs.
Damn.
Like carries 5, 6 in the bag every day. And I try to talk to him. I try to talk to him as well. But yeah, you know, he doesn't listen. I try to help him, but yeah, he's still going through his thing.
When it comes to any type of substance abuse, whether it's alcohol or anything like that, and I've dealt with even like addiction in my family, right?
Yeah.
They gotta want to help themselves. Right. I got a family member that people have been trying to help for years. Like all my other family members, like trying to get him off of like freaking heroin and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, there's only so much love that you can give. Sometimes the love has to be tough love where not turn your back on them, but not be so quick to run to help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let them go through a little struggle.
Yeah, because one of the things I had to realize to stop drinking is I had to hit rock bottom. And rock bottom for me was going to jail and realizing like, yo, I'm not going to come out in like a week. I might be here for an extended period of time. You know what I'm saying? So like, everything that I had on the outside, I'm losing. So in my mind, that's my rock bottom. That's where I was like, okay, that decision has to be made. Other people got to hit their rock bottom sometimes before they get, make that turn. Hopefully that rock bottom isn't them dying.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. That's true. You moved from Montreal to Buzzard I pronounced it right. Buzzard?
Brossard?
Buzzard.
Oh, so Brossard, just give you a little bit of history. Brossard is a suburb in Montreal. It's like living in Saga.
Yeah.
It's more like living in Scarborough.
Yeah. So, sorry, my question was, you moved from Montreal, Montreal Buzzard to Parkdale in 97. How does that outsider looking in perspective help you to see the holes in Toronto scene that people born here are too blind to see?
It's a good question. One thing I realized when I first got here is a lot of people, and this is with all due respect to all my people that are from here, born and raised, but this is a gold mine, bro. This city has ridiculous amounts of opportunities for Black people. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel that way, but in comparison to other Canadian cities, this is the shit. So when I got here, I was like, wait a minute. One, there's Black people working in all like these different types of establishments. Like, I've told the story many times online, but like, I'll say it again. Like the first time I hooked up my Bell line, a Jamaican lady was on the line assisting me. And I was thinking to myself, damn, this lady got this job working at Bell. That's how I felt like as somebody from Montreal, because Black people, there's a lot of racism there. It was not, there's the language separation and stuff like that. So it was like, okay, a Black person with a Jamaican accent isn't just going to get a job at Bell in Montreal. But it happened in Toronto. You know what I'm saying? As somebody who was on the streets, I'm like, there's way more people to sell to. So I'm like, wait a minute, why isn't anybody taking opportunity of all of these customers? Not just like the crackheads. I'm talking about like well-to-do people that can spend some real money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I felt like people weren't taking advantage of this huge mega city that we have over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From the outside.
Nice. I always thought, I haven't really been to Montreal, but I always thought it would
come a little bit closer to the frame.
I always thought it would be a nice place, cheaper than Toronto.
It is. It is definitely cheaper than Toronto, but the ceiling is lower. Right? So if I wanted to be, because at the time when I moved here, I wasn't thinking about being a podcaster, I was thinking about being a rapper, right? If I wanted to be the biggest rapper in the world, I felt like, coming out of predominantly French-speaking Montreal wasn't going to be the move. I may as well come to where I'm watching Cardinal Official and Socrates and all these different guys on TV, and I'm watching and I'm like, yo, they're on Much Music. Like, yo, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm watching them. They're from Toronto, and I'm in Montreal, and I'm able to see them on TV.
Yeah.
I need to go to Toronto so that I can get on TV so that people across the country can see me too. That's my mind state when I moved here in 97.
And so far, you've been doing your thing.
I'm trying.
Nice. In episode 642, you called yourself the Toronto... Sorry, let me start over. In episode 642, you called the Toronto scene the self-eating snake. With the Drake-Kendrick fallout and the recent podcast wars in the city, do you think we're closer to a unified Toronto?
Now, first, before I answer that question, I want to give the proper credit to DJ Natural. Salute to DJ Natural Wave. He's the one who came up with that term, the self-eating snake, right? But it's facts, though. A lot of the times when a lot of artists are coming up, especially, I'm saying, not a lot, but the ones who are from the hood scene, right? They get to a certain level and then their own take them out. Whether it's a beef that they have with a rival artist and it gets, something that goes from online ends up on the streets, or somebody from their own hood takes them out, or, even self-eating to the point where like they fuck up their own shit, right? I can understand still having to work in the street or do your shit in the street while you're trying to make money for this rap stuff, but A lot of these guys go overboard. They're out there on drills doing it themselves, taking videos with all kind of guns and stuff like that. And then they get arrested, can't go across the border.
Yeah.
Right. Or they're just hemmed up in legal issues throughout their whole career. So they're never able to get a proper trajectory going on. Mm-hmm. So they're literally screwing up their own opportunities.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a self-eating snake in two ways. Like the people around you can stop you from getting to your goal, and your own self is stopping you from getting to your goal. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely agree with that one. You recently interviewed Honcho Hoodlums.
Salute.
Yeah, and even the Toronto Police Constable, Dennis Dunkley. Mm-hmm. Some people say you're too close to the street. Others say you're too friendly with the law. How do you define the bridge in 2026?
That's a great question, man. I've learned that this is entertainment.
Yeah.
Right? So in the end of the day, I had to separate myself as somebody who came from the streets. I had to separate the streets from entertainment. Mm-hmm. So I'm loyal to my audience at this point. I'm not loyal to the streets. I'm sorry. Newsflash. This might be the first time I'm saying this. I'm not loyal to the streets because I'm not out there taking penitentiary chances anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't got a whole bunch of friends that are in the streets. Most of my real homies are like 9-to-5 workers or business owners. The ones too that are in the streets, they're like older guys, so they're not like out here freaking spinning the block. So I don't have any loyalty to the streets. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But my audience that's, helping me stay paid and a roof over my head and different things like that, I have a responsibility to them. So if they want to see a Toronto policeman on the show, I'm going to bring one on, right? They want to see a guy like Honcho Hoodlum that's always spitting the real, I'm going to bring him on too. You know what I'm saying? But once upon a time, I would only do a Honcho Hoodlum and be like, oh no, I could never interview a cop. I could never interview, let's say, a Mayhem Moriarty that, testified in court. Like now I'm like, I can't wait to get an interview with Mayhem. You know what I'm saying? Where even during the space of doing this podcast, my mind I had to unlearn stuff. So maybe the first 3 years, 4 years, I'm going on 9 years now, right? The first 4 years, I would have said no to the cop, and I would have said hell no to Mayhem. Now going into year 9, I'm like, I already interviewed the cop, and I can't wait to interview Mayhem.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we get older, and once you get older in life, you gotta look ahead. So, yeah, definitely.
My whole thing, and I took this term from Charlemagne, and I don't know where he might have took it from. It might have been Malcolm Gladwell. You gotta unlearn shit, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff that we've learned over the years that we've been traditionally conditioned to and all that type of stuff, it might be just fucked up thinking, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that we've been passed down from our parents and all that too, and from people around us. Like, we gotta unlearn shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Time to move on. You said your mother taught you to be the one who gives the alley-oop. Who in the 416 right now is actually worthy of that pass, and who's just looking for a hand up?
Are you talking about in the content creation space or like the artist space?
Both, actually.
My whole thing is I don't think I'm special. So, and I'll answer the content creation space first. I don't think that I'm special. So if I'm able to produce, upload, make thumbnails, be on my social media doing the posting and all that, and do that on a consistent basis, if I can see somebody else who has that same level of energy or work ethic, I'm fucking with them. You feel me? Because I don't look at myself as doing above and beyond. I look at people in America and I'm like, damn, I'm trying to catch up to the amount of work that you're doing. You feel me? Like a Joe Button. Right? So if I see somebody who's doing at least the same amount of work that I am, I'm trying to get next to them and see if I can work with them. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that also transitions to artists and stuff like that. Like when it comes to artists, you have to be able to create a buzz. Nobody's going to create it for you. Nobody's going to just, put you on. putting you on is a thing of the past. You know what I'm saying? Record labels don't put people on. They literally wait to see if you're able to build some traction on your own, and then they give you a deal. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it like that. What's your work ethic like? You might not even have the best music, but you can get better if you're ready, if you're willing to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe in that 100%.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta put the effort and the time.
Yeah.
Like I said before, a lot of people, like, they start stuff, but when they don't see like an outcome right away, they give up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I even mentioned on one of an interview that I had, like, I just started this podcast. You know, I'm starting everything from scratch. I don't have a lot of followers. You know what I mean? I post videos. I do a lot of edit. You know how long it takes to edit a video and stuff, the time and effort you put into it. So when you don't see the views right away, and you know, you get discouraged, and a lot of people are like, oh, you know, I'm done with this. But yeah, if you give up, you'll never make it anywhere in life.
Yeah, and then it's all about also to add on to that, evolution, right? You might not see what you want in the beginning, but if you don't stop and then you continue to evolve the product, like, okay, I see that these guys have some really cool cameras, or like, you know, the way their audio sounds pretty crisp. How can I get to that level? I might not be able to afford it now, but how could I get close so that every time my audience sees what we're doing, it looks better and better? The audience sees you putting the effort, they'll start riding with you like, yo, you know, some days it might look a little wonky, but they're like, we don't care, because like, we're riding with you because we want to see the growth now. Because we can see you putting the effort in. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Trust me. So there's a lot of that too.
Yes. If We Love Hip Hop disappears tomorrow, what's the one truth about the Canadian scene that will go undocumented?
Undocumented. The one truth that will go undocumented, there is none, man. Because I feel so far, I've been able to get a lot of interviews from old school people to young and up and coming artists, to giving them their first interviews, where, like, I have a relationship with Maestro Fresh West. I never thought that I would have that living in Montreal. You know what I'm saying? Like, the hip hop godfather, you know? So I feel like I've been able to do everything that I wanted to do from this network. Like, I've been able to speak to serial killers and all types of different people, like, from all kind of walks of life. If We Love Hip Hop was to end tomorrow, the only thing I feel like I'd be missing would be like certain interviews, like Mishi Me. I haven't interviewed Mishi Me yet. I haven't interviewed Master T yet. You know what I mean? Like, these are people who are on my bucket list of interviews of who I want to talk to, because in the end of the day, the podcast or the network is like a time capsule to me. You know what I'm saying? So if you really go through the catalog, you'll be able to see the full spectrum of the Canadian hip hop scene. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to see an interview with Citizen Kane, or then maybe watch an interview with Hood Baby Peppa. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, you get to see the full spectrum from young to old, legends to up and coming people. You know, news clips or different things that document things that have happened in the scene. People who've passed away, and just different things that are all there in the catalog. So when people are able to look back, they'll be like, oh, I'm able to understand the Canadian music scene through watching this channel. That's I feel like I've achieved the goal, but that's my continuous mission all the time.
Nice. And you're doing your thing for
Thank
sure. You've gone from an artist to an executive, to the voice of the city. Which of these versions of Kofi was the most honest, and which one was the hardest to leave behind?
None of them are hard to leave behind. As far as like the artistry stuff, I thought it would be hard to leave behind when I was fully entrenched in being an artist. I thought I was going to be the biggest rapper, or if not, I would just rap forever just for the love. But once I started getting into this podcast game, like, I love podcasting. You know what I'm saying? And creating content. the rapping part, like giving up rapping, which I did back in 2017 or like early 2018, let's say, which is roughly, like I started the podcast in 2017. So when I stopped rapping, I didn't feel like, damn, I quit or I gave up. I'm just like, no, I transitioned into making content, doing podcast. The executive part, I don't miss that either because I'm still an executive. I'm an executive for content now. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I'd rather be an executive for content than doing an executive for music. The music game is not as lucrative as it used to be. And you got to chase artists around. You got to deal with their personalities, different things like that. And if that's what it takes to make some money from the music game, I'd rather do it from content.
Content is the thing nowadays.
Content's king.
Streaming. Hey. All right. That's cool. All right. In this segment, we like to call rapid fire. I'm going to ask you 2 questions and just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
All right. Dundas Street or St. Catharines?
St. Catharines.
Why?
St. Catharines just has that feel where it just feels a little bit more close. It's a smaller street, obviously. Dundas Street is part of like longest, it's not the longest street in the world, youngest, but Dundas got a lot of crackheads, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where like when you're on St. Catharines Street, bro, it's a vibe, man. And back in the days, they used to have a lot of strip clubs and stuff like that. Like Montreal is a vibe. I don't live there anymore, but it's a vibe. So I would take St. Catharines Street over Dundas Street any day. Yeah.
All right, nice. All right. Gatekeeper or door opener?
I would call myself a door opener. But as far as gatekeeping, I don't think it's as possible as it used to be. Before, people used to have to go to a company to be able to get published, right? Get your music out there, or get an executive to co-sign your show, greenlight your show. Now we got the internet, bro. We can go upload and nobody can stop you except for like the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? But like some big exec can't stop this show from growing, fam. You know what I'm saying? I've had rants saying Drake can't stop this show from growing. He can help it grow, but he can't stop it from growing. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So there is no more gatekeepers.
Live stream or edited content?
Edited content. But I do love live streaming. I live streamed the other day like for 5 hours straight, bro. Just talking about different topics in the scene and stuff like that. And we will be doing more live streams as we get into this year. But I do enjoy pre-edited, like how we're doing right now. You know what I mean? Something fucks up, or if there's a take that it's a little bit too crazy, which I rarely take out. But like, if there's something that can't be said on YouTube, at least we can cut it out.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
prefer the same thing too.
Yeah.
Live streaming or anything live, I get really nervous and, what if you make a mistake? What if you say the wrong thing? Then,
bro. That's something that it takes work, man. It takes you got to keep on doing laps when it comes to them live streams, bro. When I first started doing live streams, I used to kind of leave a lot of dead air. I used to kind of, I'd be fumbling around trying to figure out what I want to do. Now I could live stream for 5 hours and not even have like something up on the screen. I could just talk my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. You've been doing it for a while, so yeah, definitely. Legacy or currency?
Legacy. Legacy creates the currency. So you'll have that forever if you have a legacy.
That's true. That's true. Nice. Ricky, they say the bridge is only as strong as the weight it can carry. You carried the stories, the beef, and the triumphs of the city for decades on your back. If 2026 is the year the bridge finally connects everyone, what's the first thing you're doing for yourself once you step off of it?
Wow. Putting more money in my team's pocket. I've had people who've come and gone, and salute to the people who are here now, because I feel that they're here for the long run. But I want to be able to bless them. I want them to be able to make thousands of dollars a week from podcasting, and then make all of those times that they came here and done free pods, like all worth it. You know what I'm saying? Where they're like, yeah, okay, I've been a co-host on We Love Hip Hop, and now I quit any job that I had to do because I make so much money doing this shit. Where like I was riding with Friday where we were making nothing per pod or we were just getting like weed and stuff like that. Like they're first. You know what I'm saying? And then like I feel like if I'm able to bless my team, then I'm good. I'll have enough money. Like I'm 50 now. Like I don't need to go buy big cars and fancy chains and rings and stuff like that. As long as I got a nice crib over my head, you know what I'm saying? And I'm able to eat whatever I want when I want, I'm good.
Yeah, that's true. So that's true. Yeah, I'm not really into the flashiness as well.
Yeah.
I know, I mean, you know, I'm not into gold chain a lot of, so I like a simple life.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of the city, the bridge himself, Ricky Friday Dred. Kofi, thank you for having me here on your podcast. I really appreciate it. Is there any last words you want to say before I close it out?
Listen, man, just salute to all the people out there. Do your work, man. If you want to be able to succeed in anything, whether it's podcasting, rapping, do the work. You know what I mean? Do the research that it takes to find out, you know, what's the best things to get my music to the next level, the next things to do, get my podcast to the next level. Do everything that you need to do to get yourself to the next level. That's my advice to anybody.
Nice. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to grow, get some followers, show some support. You know what I mean? I like to show support back to anyone. So if you want to reach out to me and be on the podcast, you don't have to be at a certain level. You could be any level. Just, you know, talk to me, DM me. And once again, this was another episode of K Production, and we're out.
Peace.